Hi everyone, welcome to this new video. Right then, today I'm going to be making some flowers for my card, so I thought I would film it for you. So this, what I'm using today is just standard Foamiran, which is around 0.6 to 0.8 millimeters. Let me just show you on a single one of those. You can see, let me get the ruler, let me have a look. Yeah, it's definitely under 1 mil. So this is what we're going to be doing today. Nice flower. I haven't put none together yet. I wanted to go through colouring some of the petals as well, because I get asked a lot about colouring the petals. So let's get a backing piece of paper. So these single ones, because I've got my flower dies is ready, and then I've cut these out freehand because I like to add my own little ones too. I've got a new flower die which I'll show you now. So it comes in 3. There is a smaller one, but those are the shape it gives, and I'm looking forward. I haven't made a flower yet with them, so I'm looking forward to using them. Let's get to colouring them. So this is an alcohol marker. I find alcohol markers better because the foam holds the colour better. I do use pastels, and I've used distress inks. They tend to smudge a lot. You get it all over your fingers, and the colour payoff isn't that great, so I use alcohol markers now. So I always use the square end rather than, these have got 2 ends, so it's a fine end and a block end, and I tend to just colour the edges. And because it's a block end square, it leaves like little lines on the Foamiran, which looks really pretty, so I like the effect that gives too. So colouring is easy. You obviously, you just put it on and then that makes the little lines. If it doesn't make the lines straight away like that one, just go in a little bit harder, and then it creates the lines then. That was Bubba. Okay, I do like to do both sides of the Foamiran, so like for example I've done 2 sides there. So that was just a quick easy peasy to colour it, but I thought I'd show some people that haven't watched one before. So I use straighteners to make my flowers. I don't use an iron like the rest of the people on YouTube that make flowers. So just wait for those to warm up. What I do, I always leave as well, the ink does stay quite damp on it doesn't dry straight away, so I always leave them about half an hour to soak in, and then you don't get it on your fingers. So I always fold my petals all in to a little bunch. Now because this isn't silk Foamiran, I have to heat it, and to be fair, the longer that you, in other words, the more intense heat that you apply, the more mouldable it can get. If you don't put a lot of heat on that, in other words, if you use an iron and you just use the iron surface to get the heat on, you won't be able to do many shapes with it. So just from doing that all together, each petal is done. It's just literally as easy as that. I find it so easy, and each petal is nicely shaped. So we'll do a different shape now. So again, meet all into the middle, and then pop into a straightener. and then you're closing the straightener on it. And then instantly then you do a twist where you want the twists with your fingertips. Try and be quick, because obviously the cooler the foam gets, the less likely it is not to hold its shape. Okay. So that's another one. Very pretty. I've done some already pre-made as well, so it saves time. Standard Foamiran as well can take heat really well. It won't melt. If you find that your foam is melting under the heat, it's not Foamiran, it's normal foam. A friend of mine has bought some and she told me, but yeah, I've used normal foam before and it just melts, or it's just that thick, it doesn't bend, it doesn't hold its shape. So that's that one. Where did I put that one? That one's over there. Silk foam is a little bit more transparent looking, not saying you can see through it by all means, but it does have a bit of a translucency to it, because it's a lot more thinner. I would say some of the ones I've got vary from about 1.5 to 1.6, 0.4. It is very delicate. But what it is, you can't heat it with the straighteners like I'm doing now, because it literally is so thin. When you're trying to pull the petals apart with silk Foamiran, they're so thin they just literally bond together and you can't open the flower back up then, which is a shame, but that's how it is. But it does hold good with just the heat from your fingers. There is another way I'll show you on the next pass through the straighteners, that you can heat silk Foamiran without it getting stuck to each other. I'll do that on the next petal to show you. But the quick way, where all of them are aligned in one like this, you can't do. I mean, how quick is that? And once you've took the shape, it will keep like that forever. Okay, the one way of doing with the silk Foamiran, you could do it with this foam as well, but it would just take a long time, there's no need. But with the silk, you cannot clamp on it too hard. You're very gentle, just leave it in like that. You can't leave it in too long. And then what you can do then is then shape each little bit. So you can do that with silk Foamiran, but you cannot do this. So that's another way of doing it. And you'll find that your bends and curves on the silk Foamiran will hold better if you do apply a little bit of heat, but it's very time consuming because you do have to go through each petal individually like I just showed you. Just twist it here, there and everywhere, all around the edges of your petal. So easy. Okay, that's that one done. That's a bigger one. I'll do a different shape. These are pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing what these turn out like. So I fold them all in together. You can can buy cheap straighteners. I mean, these are GHDs and they're a lot of money, but I had my hair cut off about 3 years ago. I've got super short hair, so I never straighten my hair no more, and they was in the drawer for about 2 years. So I thought, when I was struggling with the travel iron, because I find that the little travel irons as well don't really get that hot, and the foam iron is a little bit more, like I say, difficult to work with. When it doesn't, you need some heat on it and then it will bend better. But yeah, they were sitting in the drawer, and I just thought to myself, is there an easier way than this? And that's how I discovered it. And then I thought, well, I'll get my GHDs. It has, well, I don't know, I mean, they could clean off and you could still use them on your hair. It doesn't ruin them. Let's do another one, and then we'll make the flower. I'm not going to be doing stamens today. I'll explain why on the next one. I like to use quite a few stamens on my flowers, and you do need more room in the flower, which I'll explain in a minute because I need to show you. Okay, so bend the tip. Like I say, move quick as well. And just keep going over. So you don't want to keep your fingers on it too long, because obviously it is hot. Okay, another done. So the reason why I'm not doing stamens on these is because on the smaller part of the flower, the gap in the middle where you feed the stamens through is tiny. I'd only be able to get probably 5 in, doubled up to 10, and it would probably tear. And obviously as it gets bigger, even that is quite risky to put a lot of stamens in. If you're only happy with 10 or 15, that's fine, but I like to be quite a big bunch for me, and I know they will tear because it's happened before. So what you will need to do is look for a die, which is, just let me get it for you, got it here. So the difference is the 2 dies. You can see where the middles meet, so that petals end there, so you've got more circumference here, it won't tear, so they're really easy to work with, those ones there. These new shape, obviously it cuts, you can see where it cuts right the way down to nearly there, so it leaves not a lot of room for the stamens. So that's the reason that I don't like to use stamens with this particular. Now for the petals that I've already done freehand, just a little petal like that, just draw them freehand to cut them out of your foam, bunch them all together again, just like I'm doing, and then same again. You can make a whole flower out of these individual little petals too. Might do that in another video, so you don't need a die. It's just quicker with a die, isn't it? And then twist it. And then you've got your petals. I mean, how easy peasy is that? So let's turn the straighteners off now. Let's make flowers. So where's my foam? Need a little foam pad. And you're going to be working from the largest. With stamens, you work from the smallest petal. So if I was going to use stamens, it would be these ones first. When you're doing it the opposite, it's the largest ones first. So just pop these down. These are very quick and easy to make. Get your bally tool. What I'm going to do is layer the largest pieces up on top of each other first. So just pop a little bit of hot glue in the centre, and then you're not going to go straight on top of each other like that. You're going to go over like that, okay, and just do it like that, so you then eventually you're going round. So again, a little bit more glue, and then again over that way. Now I think that's enough. That was just 3 layers of the large ones. They look pretty, so I'm going to go on with the medium ones now. So again, a little bit more hot glue, Again, don't overlap too much. We're not going to be using the ball yet to press in. Not yet. I'll tell you when. Again, put some glue in the middle and then pop your flower in. Now you start just pressing in slightly, not too much. And what you're going to do then is just try to bring the flower up and around. Okay, so now I need another medium, I think. Let's search for one of them. It's bound to be around here somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so one more medium. And then press it a little bit more, and then we're going to go to the smallest now. So again, a bit of glue, and then press down. Like that. Oh, brought it with me then. Take the glue strings away. Now I'm going to use one more. So again, a little bit of glue, don't need a lot. And then work out where your petals are going. Remember not to do it all in one. That looks nice. Before I put the centres in, these centres are new. I haven't used them before. So they're like a little plastic, realistic looking middle. So I'm going to use that, but I'm going to be putting some of my own petals on now. So these are the singular ones. So grab your singular one, put a little bit on, and then again, you're not going to go straight onto the petal like that because it hides itself. You're going to go into the middle. So again, you want to find out where it will show. So that bit is sticking out there. Again, a little bit on the end, and then you're going to work out where you're going, and then you're going to keep on then adding your singular petals. So obviously sticking it down, and you're going to see where you're going. Beautiful. Can look untidy there, but when it's glued on your card, nobody sees it. If you are showing anybody or you're keeping it into a flower arrangement, that's when you add your leaves, because leaves then can hide a lot of sins, so to speak. Okay, a bit of glue, and then I'm going to work our way around now, filling see how the flower now is really starting to bloom. Then where's my other singular ones? Those are small. Have I got any more? Oh, they're all dotted around everywhere you see, but no, the smaller ones can work as well. Don't have to be big. So the smaller ones can work just as good. Decide where you're putting it. And keep on layering them. till you're happy with them. I think I'm going to do one more there, and then that is my flower done. I'm going to put the middle on then. Lovely. So obviously from there, flower looks lovely. Turn it over and there you'll see all your little bits that you've added. But like I say, if you're going to go onto a card, no one's going to see that bit. If you were to keep it into with a wire, then you would have to use the leaves like this, and then put them around, and that would hide the bottom. Okay, so as the glue's dried now, you can fluff up the Foamiran. Those curves and the little shapes that we did at the beginning won't go anywhere, they'll stay. So let's get this little thing in, chop the little tail off. And now I'm going to open the centre a little bit, pop my glue in, and then pop that in, and then put my pokey tool in and get it into the centre as best I can. Okay, and then fluff it up. So there we have our first flower. Now how pretty and realistic is that? And then you could put a little diamante in the middle. I like it as it is really, because it looks pretty. But yeah, fluff it up as much as you want, and then pop it onto your card when you're done. Right, let's make another one. I'm going to do a different shape now, so these more are the roundish ones. We'll do a mixture of the both, see what we come out with. So let's get our foamy pad back. Largest one is, I think, this one. Yeah. So again, a bit of hot glue in the middle. Again, straight on the top. Remember to go in between. Again, not like that, to the side. And I'm going to press it in a little bit. Get the bigger tool. Okay. So what you want the glue to start doing is, you can see that dome there. That's what brings the middle starting to appear to come higher. So we're going to swap now to the medium size. So again, see where you're putting it. Press just gently now, because you've pushed that dome in a little bit. Oh, glue strings. Let's get them off. Right, okay, so to be fair, it's filling out nice on its own, so I'm going to go straight to the smallest ones. So let's have a look. These are the smaller ones of this shape, I think. Yep. So let's go in again. So you can either put it on its own or pop it in the middle. It's always less messy if you pop it on into the middle. Okay, so find the middle and then give it a little press up. Okay, again. So think about where you're going, and then guide it down with your little pokey tooly thing, and then give it a gentle push so it meets the hot glue. Okay. Again, doing that, and we're going to fill out some of the back like we did before. We're not going to be using these singular ones. I'm going to show you how to do it on these now. So get the ones that were spare. We're going to be cutting them, and we're going to be making them into the same, because these were just spare. There's not enough to make another flower. So what you do, you use the spare ones to fill out the back. So again, a little bit of glue on the bottom, decide where you're going. I tend to not look where I'm going on the back. I always like to visualise where I'm going on the front. So when you put your glue on, don't worry about what where you go in here, always judge it from a bird's eye view. And I think doing your own, adding your own at the end, really makes a difference to filling the flower out just a little bit more. Don't get me wrong, it looks nice, but you know, when it was finished anyway. But doing this just makes it look a little bit nicer than it did before. So I'm thinking, yeah, let's fluff it up again. Now you could use different things. You could use, just gonna get you one little pearl, and then you could pop that into the centre like that. But because I've got these and they're new, of course I'm going to use them. So cut that bit off. Let's make more of a middle where it's going to sit. And then you're going to guide it down with your little small pokey. And then that's that shape. So very similar, but these petals are a little bit more rounded, where those are more of a sharper point to the end, but very, very similar. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to make a card with them now, so I might film that, might not. We'll see what mood I'm in. Thank you for joining me. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe because it helps the channel grow, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everybody.